What is the worst movie you ever watched? I'll choose The Last Airbender simply because I watched that film when I was 8 years old and even dumb kid me already thought it was trash. How Eragon hasn't been mentioned yet is beyond me. Zombie ass. Toilet of the Dead. I like horror comedy. I really liked J-horror. Why not marry the two? I thought. This will be Resident Evil with fart jokes. What could possibly go wrong? It was the worst thing I have ever witnessed. Everybody should see it. Do not eat while watching. In the Name of the King. Directed by Uwe Boll. By the last huge battle I was laughing out loud. It's supposed to be a medieval European-ish battle, I think. And there's ninjas jumping off trees. I wanted to see the rest just for the humor, but my friends wanted to walk out and I got outvoted. Uwe Boll's Wikipedia page is good entertainment too. I remember taking a deep dive to find out how this movie got made. He found some kind of loophole in the tax law of his home country for making movies, and that's how anything he's ever made is profitable. Movie critics panned his films so badly he got pissed off and challenged some of them to a boxing match. At least one guy took him up on the offer and thought it was a publicity stunt for charity. But Uwe trained hard for this, and at the match actually bloodied the critic pretty badly. Maybe they can make a documentary about Uwe's life story. Cats 2019. Epic movie. Well, that's a toss-up. Battlefield Earth or the Emoji Movie. The Avengers. No, not that one. It was released in 1998 and starred Sean Connery, Uma Thurman and Ralph Fiennes. It's a James Bond wannabe. And Sean Connery is the arch-villain that wants to rule the world with his weather control machine. There is not a single aspect of this movie that isn't the absolute worst. The writing, the acting, the lighting, the special effects. It's all horrendous. It's 89 minutes of torture that if used by the military would be considered an inhumane war crime. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. Fucking sausage party! Exclamation mark. Downsizing. I cannot express how bad it is. I've watched a lot of bad movies, but this one easily takes the cake. Jack and Jill. But I feel my experience was made worse by going with a family member with severely broken humor on their birthday. Not only could I not just get up and fucking leave, since it was their birthday and another person paid for the tickets, I also had to deal with him being the only person in the theater howling with laughter at this god-awful movie. Shit movie. Shit experience. Would recommend drugs. After Earth, and I've watched a lot of Sci-Fi Channel original movies. Artemis Fowl. The books are amazing, but the movie was just terrible. Independence Day. Resurgence. I was actively rooting for the aliens so that it would just end. And months later I actually started to watch it a second time, completely forgetting I had ever watched it in the first place. Then I started rooting for the aliens again and it clicked. The Son of the Mask. My family and I watched it when it came to theaters. And we ended up regretting it after we saw it. Manos: The Hands of Fate. It's so bad that even with the Mr. Science Theater 3000 overdub jokes, it is still painful to watch. 9 Lives. Kevin Spacey becomes trapped in a cat's body, and it's about as bad as it sounds. Jack and Jill. I was spending the night at my boyfriend's house. I forget what we'd been watching, but he fell asleep and the Adam Sandler movie Jack and Jill came on. I was very high, and about 10 minutes in I'm wondering if it ever gets even a little funny. Half an hour in and I'm assuming it has to get better. Even for a moment. because even 8 crazy nights made me blow a small puff of air out of my nose a couple times. Granted. I was 12 to 13. 1 hour in and after that time ceased to exist at that point. I was too high and just in absolute awe of that fact that this movie exists. Finally, the credits roll. And I'm left feeling both empty and somehow changed. I've seen some awful movies. I love a good shitty B film. Especially horror. And I've come across plenty just plain shitty ones, but nothing like the hell that is Jack and Jill. It has no reason to exist. The Hills with Paris Hilton. It forced me to create an IMDb account just to warn others.